our Sunrise Smart Start, a Rochester man is now suing the federal government for violating his First Amendment rights after showing up at his home and hotel about an email sent to the former director of ICE. This all started when David Striever sent an email to Director Todd Lyons in January expressing his frustration over the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. He says he doesn't believe the email to be a threat, but ICE came looking for him in June. Striever is the second in New York to be approached by ICE, the first a Syracuse woman, about posts that she made on social media.
They waited 5 months to show up and try to confront him about this email. You know, the government doesn't get to send federal agents to respond to an email. We all have that right to criticize our government, to write to our government and say what you think of them. They don't have to listen to you, but they don't get to respond this way.
The Department of Homeland Security says, quote, any allegation DHS and its components are attempting to squash free speech is categorically false, saying they investigate all credible threats towards their officers and employees. A new curfew is being considered in Rochester after 8 people were hurt in the East End over the weekend. 3 suspects, 28-year-old Jaydell Williams, 29-year-old Larry Dillon, and a 17-year-old driver have been charged and arraigned on gun-related offenses after early Sunday shootings in downtown Rochester. RPD says detectives are still going over footage and reviewing evidence to determine who was targeted and who fired the rounds. A gun violence state of emergency put in place in July 2022 has now been renewed, and now the mayor is considering a curfew.
There are a lot of different ways in which you can do curfews. You can do them at certain times. You can do them around certain events. You can do them during the summer. There's all types of things that would have to be looked at. I think it's a shame that I have to look into it because I believe that the village should make sure, our community should make sure that you don't have 12-year-olds out at 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
All of the victims from the East End shooting are expected to survive. RPD wants anyone with leads on these cases to call 911. Chief David Smith says across the nation, around 316 people were shot this weekend, with 83 deaths. The driver in the deadly tour bus crash on the Thruway last summer is expected to be sentenced this fall after pleading guilty in court. Bin Shao faces 1 to 4 years in prison for 5 counts of criminally negligent homicide. 5 people died and dozens more were hurt when the bus carrying 54 people from Niagara to New York City turned over a ditch on the Thruway in Pembroke last August. Shao's attorney called it a tremendous tragedy. Documents show when Shao bent down to throw away a water bottle, it bounced out of the trash and rolled under the brake.
I'm satisfied that he took responsibility. I think there's a sentencing range that's sufficient to give the judge an opportunity to impose a sentence that is going to make him fully accountable for the deaths of these people. Nothing will bring back their loved ones, but this individual taking responsibility and suffering a consequence when he comes back for sentencing should bring them some closure, and I hope it does.
Shao is scheduled to be sentenced in September. A traffic alert for you. Sections of 390, the expressway going southbound, is currently down to 1 lane between exits 16 and 19. That starts tonight as the DOT begins overnight paving. Work runs 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. through the 21st, and several ramps in Brighton, Gates, Chili, and Rochester will close. So watch for detours and expect delays. The DOT reminds drivers to slow down in work zones. Fines are double for speeding, and repeat violations can lead to a license suspension. Our sunrise traffic report at 6:53. That view from our Greater Rock Sky Eye cam showing things moving at speed. That's true across our traffic map. No accidents of note at this time, and we'll get you a check of the final weather in just a moment. And the city of Rochester is asking residents to share their thoughts on improving traffic safety through an online survey. The survey is based on recent public meetings, part of the city's Rock Vision Zero initiative, where over 200 residents voiced their thoughts and concerns. You can visit the website on your screen and watch the presentation shared during public input meetings. Learn more about automated traffic enforcement and take the survey. The survey will remain open for the next 3 weeks. Belgium eliminated the U.S. during Monday night's World Cup knockout match. During the game, all eyes were on Folarin Balogun, one of the U.S. star players. Balogun had been suspended from Monday's game, but that suspension was suddenly lifted on Sunday after President Trump and other high-level officials reached out to FIFA on his behalf. European soccer officials called the decision unprecedented and unjustifiable, and an investigation into the matter is expected to continue. Final check of the weather here before we head out the door, James.
Yeah, I think it's a nice afternoon to get a little bit of soccer in.
Very good.
If you can, if you're inspired, maybe get out there and play a little bit of that. But really, any activity outside looks great. We do have a couple of very light rain showers around this morning, but those have faded for the most part. You still have some just lingering in the Finger Lakes, but a lot of us are dry, and highs right around 80. We'll increase the temperature tomorrow into the mid-80s, and we'll increase the sunshine as well. You like to see that. Mostly sunny. Your Wednesday looks great. Isolated shower or thunderstorm on Thursday there, and that's the warmest day. We'll push it all the way up into the upper 80s before a better chance for storms on Friday, and that carries us into what looks like a pretty good weekend. A lot of things happening. A lot of people still celebrating July 4th. We'll probably still hear some fireworks, I bet, on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe if someone has, you still got that box you forgot about that you got to save for Saturday night, maybe.
And at 9 a.m., that's where you can find us on our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise. I'll be there with James this morning, and it'll be a good time. I'll tell you all about my puppy experience right now.
That sounds great. Thinking about getting one more pup in the house.
You know, always. It's just how I like it.
Not me. I'm not thinking about getting more pups. So.
You can borrow mine for the day.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There you go. I have 3 of them. Thanks so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise, everybody. Our next update is in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.